While these words were still on the king's lips, a voice spoke from heaven. It has been decreed for you, King Nebuchadnezzar, that your kingship is taken from you. You shall be cast out from human society and shall dwell with wild beasts. You shall be given grass to eat like an ox, and 7 years shall pass over you until you learn that the Most High is sovereign over human kingship and gives it to whom he will. At once this was fulfilled. Nebuchadnezzar was cast out from human society. He ate grass like an ox, and his body was bathed with the dew of heaven, until his hair grew like the feathers of an eagle, and his nails like the claws of a bird. When this period was over, I, Nebuchadnezzar, raised my eyes to heaven. My reason was restored to me, and I blessed the Most High, etc. If this reminds you of King Lear, those of you who have read or seen King Lear, it's because this is the story of King Lear, a great king who learns a lesson, a king who clutches to his earthly power, and God gives him some harsh mercy. In this case, Nebuchadnezzar loses his mind. He becomes crazy. He starts living in the field. His nails grow, his hairs grow. He lives like a beast. He has apparently a psychotic episode, a long one from the sound of things. And this is, remember why God is telling him that he's doing this to him. This will happen until you learn that the Most High is sovereign over human kingship and gives it to whom he will. You're not all that. You might be the king, but that's because I've allowed you to be king. Don't think so highly of yourself, because you could live like a beast easily enough. Everything that you have can be taken away from you. The one group of people that I have seen in action, because I've been to one or two meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous, because I have someone I know who's an alcoholic and I've gone to a meeting with this person. The one group of people I know who get this and who live like a real church are people in programs like that, 12-step programs, because they typically are people who have lost everything because of their addiction. They've been through a Nebuchadnezzar experience. Maybe they haven't literally been homeless, covered by the dew, living like a beast. Some of them have. All of them have come down from their high horse. Their high horse. That's a phrase we used to use. One of the things we know is that you young people don't use figures of speech. To be knocked off your high horse, to come down off your high horse. In fact, this will be a phrase that we look at more closely when we look at the conversion of Saul to St. Paul. When you realize that you're in desperate need of God's grace, and, and you're not all that, and even if you're addicted to a drug that makes you think you are, sooner or later you recognize you need other people and you need God. And that's our position. This is perhaps what Saul did not know while he was persecuting Christians. Perhaps he really thought he was wielding the sword of God. Perhaps he really thought that power is what our faith is all about and not love and humility. But it's not about power. It's not about political power. It's not about power over others in any other area of our lives. You learn this little by little as you grow old, and you realize you're losing various parts of your faculties. It could very well be that this afternoon still, I will be living on the street, covered with dew, my hair growing, which wouldn't hurt, my nails growing, and so forth. The Nebuchadnezzar experience could be just around the next bend for me. You guys probably have a sense of that. I mean, I'm tottering as it is. But I think that's what's going on in that section of Daniel. And it's interesting that Nebuchadnezzar learns to appreciate that experience, because not everyone would.